Hi, it's Matt. How you doing? So I thought I would kick this all off. My first video. I thought I'd go through my record collection and find some kind of, I suppose, hard. I thought I'd start with the hard rock stuff first. Um, found some. I'd say three albums that I really enjoyed listening to and really kind of got me into. I suppose got me into hard rock really when I was about 14 years old. Now, a lot of music that I was kind of listening to, a lot of rock music that I was listening to back then. I suppose I got a lot of influence from my dad, who enjoyed a lot of this music, grew up in the 60s and 70s, was well versed in a lot of the bands at that time. And he had a few records as well that I'd listened to and things like that. So I kind of, I suppose, I was always more into rock music, and I like listening to things like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Probably when I was a bit younger, but I suppose it was when I was about 13, 14, I really started getting into more kind of hard, heavy rock. Um, but these three albums, the ones that I found in my collection, I think they're the kind of defining ones really that kind of got me into the music early on. So I'm going to start. So the first one I have here is Boston, self-titled. This was released in 1976, and it's quite interesting, really, because sometimes I think Boston kind of don't really get the recognition they deserve, really. Now, I know a lot of people know about this album. It's one of the the big ones of the 70s, but they did a lot of other good releases as well. A lot of other good albums as well as this one. But I think it's that track more than a feeling that just kind of lifts you up. It's very kind of powerful, and it just the way it kind of flows. It's just fantastic. So I think for me, when I first heard this, I was just like, this is really really cool. I heard that the lead guitarist Tom Schultz, I think it was in his basement that was actually recorded initially, and they took the recording to the record company and they signed them basically based on that, and they actually put it on the album. It was on the release, and it just sounds amazing. Given that it was done with such simplicity, um, and I think he used a lot of kind of special effects and you know interesting things, with the guitar and things like that, which kind of made the sound what it was really back then. But it sounds amazing, and this album, not just more than a feel. I think a lot of tracks in here are just absolutely amazing. So it's always been one of my good favorites. This is the first UK pressing on the Epic label. I'm not sure if you can see it. A bit of glare. It's not good. There we go. Maybe. Okay. Yeah. This is the first UK press. There's loads of these. You can get them pretty cheap. Sounds fantastic. I think maybe this starts. I'm not sure. Starting to get a bit of groove wear on this, but I think I've overplayed it a little bit. I might have to upgrade it. But yeah, one that I absolutely love. So moving on to the second, we've got Who's Next by The Who. Now, I love Quadrophenia. Um, I do. And sometimes over the years I've kind of flitted between this one and Quadrophenia as my favourite Who album. But this one, I don't know, it's one that I think it was the first one I heard of The Who. It's the first album I heard, and this, I don't know what it was, that Baba O'Reilly just kind of, it just kind of I don't know, it just kind of burned through me really when I heard it, and I thought it was great. Um, Pete Townshend's opening sequence on the organ was just absolutely amazing, all the way through, right to the very last killer track. Won't Get Fooled Again. 8 minutes, eight whatever minutes of it's just absolutely fantastic stuff, and it's banging, absolutely banging. I used to listen to this when I was a lot younger and spin it in my room, dancing around the room, air guitaring like Pete Townsend, spinning my arm, you know. But yeah, this has always been a good one, a good one to have in my collection, and it's always one I look back on. This is the first UK pressing on track record. Um, this sounds absolutely killer. Sounds really, really, really good. Great sound quality. Released in 1971. Brilliant stuff. And now for the third one, my my dad was very big into these when he was at university, and kind of introduced me to them. Really, he had a few albums, a a few of their records in his collection, and a couple of years after I first heard them, well, a few years after I first heard them, I think I was about 18. It was 2005, and they just released an album. They were touring, and I was lucky enough to actually go and see them with my dad, and it was really cool, amazing experience. Deep Purple, in rock, everybody knows this classic album. I don't really know what else there is to say about it because it's just absolutely fantastic. You know, that opening speaking, it's just like wow. And that Child in Time, Ian Gillan's vocals on that. Did he break a record or something like that with, I don't know, the frequency he went up to or something. I don't know. But just the way it builds, just the resonance, just the kind of, it just sends a chill down your spine. It's just fantastic. It really kind of blew me away when I was younger, first listening to this. But yeah, and the one thing about Deep Purple I love, not just for this album, but a lot of the other ones, is that every single album they release is just like, there's no filler. It's all good kind of heavy hitters, really, really, really solid, front to back. It's each song is just like hits you like a brick. That's why I've always liked Deep Purple. And I think my generation, maybe haven't really appreciated them as much. Really, I mean, a lot of people talk about Machine Head, and that's a great album as well. But I think there's a lot of great albums in their collection, and I think it'd be nice to see kind of more of them being reissued and things on, and people kind of starting to get more into them, really, because they are a great band, and this is a fantastic album. This is actually the first German pressing on the Herzu Harvest label. There you go. This sounds really, really, really good. I've had a couple of pressings of this album. I think I had a first UK at one point, but there was always a lot of surface noise on those, and I didn't really I didn't really get the full experience with them. So I was always in search of a different version, and I came across this when I was at university about 10, 12 years ago, and I think it was a record fair, I can't remember. But this sounds really, really great. Super high quality record, a really, really, really rich sound. I really enjoy the Herzu series. Actually, this label, they've actually done some really, really good pressings, some good releases. But yeah, Deep Purple in rock, absolutely fantastic stuff. Loved by many, including me. So that was my first video. I'm very sorry if it was a bit kind of all over the place, but hopefully they'll get better as they go on. But again, thank you very much for listening, and hope to see you in another video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.